There are those who will see you and say, the younger Bayo Onanuga was very notorious.
Notorious? No, I was when people see me, they see a different person from the image that people sometimes ascribe to me. And people see me, this is a gentleman. Especially in those days of Abacha, anytime I was arrested and the military guys or DSS see me say, this man is a gentleman. But what we write is different from the facade that I present. I'm a gentleman, but my pen can be something else.
Mm. So is your pen that is notorious, not you?
Not me. I'm a gentleman. My pen is not notorious. What we are doing those days, we are trying to make sure that this country is put on the right path. That we were fighting for democracy, for the rights of all Nigerians, and at that time we were ready, even to lose our own convenience and everything to make sure that this country is well governed and we are not ruled by military. That it's better for us to have people that we elect on our own shore, out of our own free will, to govern us, and not for soldiers because they have the guns to govern our people. That was all we were doing at that time.
Did you think that you achieved your aim as a journalist then?
Of course. I think at the end of the day, when the military left power, even when Babangida left power in 1993, I think we were very happy that at least we succeeded in pushing him out. And when Abacha took over and we found that he was not ready to allow democracy to reign, we also began a new round of struggle. And when he died, even before he died, some of us ran into exile. When we died, we were very happy that he died. And we came back to our country to continue to play our role to make sure that this country enthrones democracy. And I think as a journalist, because of the crusade that we fought for at that time, I think I would say our crusade succeeded lightly.
Was that at the moment you met Asiwaju Tinubu?
I met him before we started that crusade. Or let me say, if I cast my mind back to my role when I was in Concord as editor of the African Concord magazine, that's when we began to really question a lot of things happening in our society. At that time, my journalism then was centered on looking at people at the center point of issues rather than just looking at issues. We were saying then that people should be the focus of whatever we wanted to do. So if Babangida was messing up in those days, we tried to question him, not looking at issues like let's say now we have a problem of guinea worm, like it used to happen in those days. We were not just looking at guinea worm as a disease. We were looking at the people who were in charge of our health, people who were in charge of water and things like that, and we really began to question them. And it was a people-centered journalism we were doing. So trying to focus on issues, but focusing on them through the people who are in charge. Like now, when Babangida then declared in 1992, I think, what actually led my leaving Concord, and said he could not understand what was going on in the country, that the country had defied all kinds of treatment that he had tried to employ on Nigeria. And he said, so what kind of leader was this? If the country had defied all kinds of things that you are saying it has defied, then you have no business continuing to govern Nigeria.
So that's why you wrote as Babangida given up.
Yeah. And of course, he didn't like what we did. And when my boss said I should apologize, I said, no, there's no point in apologizing.
Who was your boss then?
MKO Abiola.
He told you to apologize to Babangida government.
I said, no, I won't apologize. I'd rather just go. And that's why I left. And when I left, many of my colleagues also left with me. And that's what led to our founding the news magazine in 1993.
Did you regret not apologizing to Babangida?
No. See, the point is this. If you believe very much in something, it's better, even at the risk of your life, it's better you stick to it. When you try to appease people who have power, you are going to lose much more. So it's better to have some dignity, to believe. The thing is that I believe in something. That's my own. I believe in certain things, certain values, And if you ask me to now sacrifice those values because I want to gain some advantage, I say no, I'd rather just go and be drinking my gari rather than sacrifice my values so that I get some advantage. So that is what I believe in.
So you disobeyed MK Abiola at the time?
And I told him at that time that you don't appease power. If you appease power, once you do it, they will ask for more. You keep appeasing, and then you find that you have lost everything totally.
So could that be one of the most dangerous and perhaps one of the most audacious decisions you've made in your career as a journalist?
As a journalist, it was not the only one. I've done a lot of things to really make sure that this country, at least we push certain things, certain agenda in this country so that this country can, because I believe, most of my colleagues, they believe in certain values. And it was those values we are trying to push that our country must embrace. Like, for example, our magazine in 2000, it was in 1999, we were the first to speak about the certificate incident involving Salisu Buhari at that time. And that led to his removal as of Rep Speaker in those days. And there was no regret that we did it. And at least that led to a chain of reactions. And we had to push it. Like, for instance, even the military, when in those days, I remember when our troops went to Liberia to help in freeing that country of the problems of Shastelo and so, and we were not even telling our people how many soldiers are dying on the battlefront. We made the bold decision to expose it, to let Nigerians know that the military people were lying to us. We have lost X number of people. We are burying them secretly and so on. And we didn't just care what was going to happen to us. Or even before Abacha died, we were the first to write a story that Abacha was stealing Nigeria's money. And of course, that led to a lot of problems. One of my colleagues was arrested and it was not released until Abdulsalami took over. That's Babafemi Ojudu. And in my own case, I had to run away. That was what.
How many times did you run away?
Well, sometimes I have to hide myself within Nigeria, but that Abacha time, after we wrote that he was stealing money, I had to leave Nigeria to go to US.
You ran during Babangida's time?
Babangida, I resigned.
Oh, you resigned?
And I was just being careful.
Oh, it was only during Abacha's period that you went on exile?
I had to go into exile.
When Dele Giwa died, did he send a shock into some of you who were practicing then? What kind of reaction did he send to some of you then?
For me as a journalist, the lesson I learned from it was that if you're a journalist, even if you have some interaction with people in power, don't be too close to them. Try to dine with them with a very long spoon so that at any time you can, if you want to do your job as a journalist, you can do your job without anybody accusing you of either of course saying you have been dining with us. Why will you go and write X, Y, Z about us? So that was my own lesson from it. You have to have friends in government. You have to associate with them, but always make sure you leave a gap. You don't dine with them with a very, very long spoon. That was my own lesson. And I think that many journalists all over the world also know that even though you need government people for sources, for information and everything, don't be too close. I think Giwa was a bit too close to those in power, Babangida and all those officials, and the people in the secret services were sometimes sharing information and so on. When we start getting information in such a way, it can be dangerous to us as journalists because they will tell you don't publish. And you think this thing is very important that the people have to know. And you go and publish, you stand the risk of being attacked, eliminated, arrested, and things like that. So as a journalist, my own practice was that be friendly with them, but always leave a very wide gap so you can pull back when the time is ripe for that.
So it was actually true, the friendship of Babangida and MK Abiola at the time?
And friendship.
Friendship. I mean,
they were friends.
Those who believe that there was some kind of handshake between Babangida and MKO Abiola.
They were friends. They were very.
And those who suspected MKO's.
Don't forget that when the Buhari coup happened, I mean the coup that topped Buhari, it was then said that it was MKO that sponsored the coup. He helped the Babangida people with logistics and things like that. And perhaps if that coup had failed, maybe MKO would also have been in problem. That was the story we had then, that MKO was very helpful to Babangida in executing the coup that toppled Buhari in 1984.
So
1985.
So you didn't tell me how you got to meet Asiwaju Tinubu.
Yeah, we met in 1992. He was a senator then. And it was after I left Concord. And we were trying to raise funds to start a new magazine. And a friend of mine, Chris Mama, who later worked for Atiku and so on, called me and said he wanted me to meet a senator who could be helpful to what he wanted to do. And I then came to Abuja to meet him. Incidentally, one of the person was with me that I met him was the president majority leader in the National Assembly now, in the Senate, Dele. He was then his PA. And I met him and told him we were trying to set up a magazine and that we needed money. We needed investors. And he asked me, how much do you need? Or what is the limit of investment? I said, well, if we allow only about 5% subscription per individual or any corporate organization. And he said, okay. He commended what we have done or what we did in making sure we didn't recount the story we published on Babangida, we were in Concord and so on. And he said he was interested. And that's why I said I should go and meet someone in Lagos who happened to be later the governor of Osun State, Mr. Oyetola. And so that's how I met Oyetola, Babangida, and now President Tinubu in 1992. And without even reading our feasibility studies, whatever, he contributed and he gave us money, and that's how we started. And then from then, we were very close.